do this. Number 5 on our extra credit. If I look on the right side of the equal sign, I have 4y plus 3y. Are they like terms?
Yes.
Yes. So what is 4y plus 3y? 7y. And this is still equals, right? Okay. And then on this side I have 8 minus y. All right. You know, I got my 3 y's down to just the 2. Now, can I combine my y's together? Not like this, but I can add it, right? Do the opposite to move it to the other side. So since this is a minus y, I'm going to do plus y to move it over here. Yeah? So then that's basically like saying plus 1y. So now I have 8 equals, what's 7y plus 1y? 8y. Good. We're so close. We want to solve for this y. Divide by 8. Good. We're doing the opposite of what it's doing, right? And then that goes away because it becomes 1, right? 8 over 8 is 1. So then now we have y equals 1. Let's erase this guy. Equals 1. And there we go. That's it. That's it. Yeah? Good. Can we do number 8, please? Yes, Tom.
Do you think points off if the variable isn't on the left side?
No. So 5t minus 2 times t plus 2 greater than or equal to 8. All right.
First share was equal to 2.
Yes. If you look, okay, if you still want to draw your imaginary line, there we go, right? All right, if I look over on the left side, wow, there's a lot going on. There are 2 t's, there's some parentheses with a number in the front. Ethan was saying distributive, right, Ethan? There we go.
So 5t minus 2t plus 4.
Good. Bring down your 5t, because that didn't do anything, right? What's negative 2 times t?
2t.
Minus 2t. What's negative 2 times a positive 2? What kind of 4?
Positive 4.
Huh?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. And then greater than or equal to, and over here the 8 is just by itself, so we'll just bring it down, right?
Not cool in this sense.
Well, hold on. What do you see on the left-hand side?
It's inside the 5t.
Yeah, look at that.
3t minus 4.
Combine like terms. So 3t minus 4 is greater than or equal to 8. All right, and then now what?
Minus, add the 4.
Good. I want to get this t by itself, so I'm going to add the 4, move it over here to combine with that 8, right?
Which is 12.
3t greater than or equal to 12. Now, since I have 3 times t, if I want to move that 3, divide. Divide by 3, and whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side, right? And then you have t is greater than or equal to, what's 12 divided? Thank you, 4. Perfect. How do you guys feel about this?
Great.
Good. All right, so we're starting unit 1B. Congratulations, you guys are done with 1A. I will grade your test over the weekend, and I'll have it for you next class. Okay? So 1B starts off, 1B is basically looking at absolute value functions, okay? Guys, the absolute value of a number, well, the absolute value of a number is the distance away from 0. How far away from 0 are we going? That's basically what it is, right? What else do you guys remember about absolute value?
So like if you have a negative -5, and then you have absolute value bars next to it that is absolute value is 5.
Good. So then what does that tell me? Absolute value is always what?
Positive.
Positive. Good. Maybe we should write that down too. Always positive. Can it ever equal negative?
No.
No, never. Okay. So do you know why it's always positive?
Because it's the distance from the number line, and because -5 is 5 units, it's 5 units that's positive.
Yeah, good. It's always positive because it's talking about how far away it is, right? So if you guys were to go out here, out of Herndon High School and go 5 miles to the right, how far did you go?
5 miles.
5 miles. If you went 5 miles to the left, how far did you go?
5 miles.
5 miles. That's absolute value.
But you
Okay? You would never say, hey, I went -5 miles. What would that mean?
You didn't go nowhere.
You are not going nowhere. You owe miles, right?
Yeah.
So that's why. Absolute value is talking about how far away from 0. If it's a negative number, that means we went to the left. Or, you can think of it that way, okay? But the thing is, since it's talking about how far it is, it's always positive. Because you would never say -2 steps or -2 blocks, right? So here's the thing. Absolute value of x, whatever number x is x. Yeah? So then the absolute value of -x, whatever x is x. Right? You went to the right and you went to the left. So if you have an absolute value of x equals 5, well, if I asked you to graph it, here's how you would graph it. Well, here's 0. Right? It means distance from 0 is 5. That means I can go to the right 5, and then I'm right here. Or I can go which way? Good, to the left 5, and I'm right here. Does that make sense, guys? Alright, so the value of x can be 5, or it can be -5, because the absolute value of 5 and the absolute value of -5, they both equal 5. Okay? Alright, so then that takes us over to solving absolute value equations. Here's the thing, I want you to write somewhere, maybe right here. 2 solutions. You should always have 2 solutions unless it's a special case. Alright? It should be 2 solutions or no solutions. Alright? You're always going to have 2 answers, or you're going to say it's no solution. So here's how you solve absolute value equations. First of all, step 1 says get the absolute value all by itself. It means get the absolute value bars all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So here's my absolute value. Is it by itself right now? No. I have a +3 next to it. Let's move that +3 out of the way. What do I need to do?
Subtract it.
Thank you. Subtract 3. And on both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Good. Thank you. So then now we have absolute value of x equals, what's 6 minus 3? 3. So then now, when you get the absolute value bars all by itself, you're going to drop the bars and write it twice. Drop the bars and write it twice. Okay? The first one looks exactly the same. So it's going to be x equals 3. Alright? The second one, guys, whatever's inside the absolute value bars, you never change it, okay? It's x equals Instead of a positive 3, you're going to have a what?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Good job. And you know, if we had to solve some more, we would. But, you know what? There's nothing else to solve because they told us is x equals 3 or x equals negative 3, right? So that's our answer. X equals 3 or x equals negative 3. And you know what? You know, it's a good habit to check in your calculator. Okay? In your calculator, you have the absolute value. All right? What you do is you go to math, number,
1.
and abs, which is 1, right? And then you either get parentheses or your calculator just gets the bars. Like Abner, your calculator's just going to get the bars. Okay? Some of the yellow calculators will too. And you know what you're doing is you're going to plug in x into your original problem. Right? So if I have x equals 3 and x equals negative 3, I'm going to plug it into my original problem, which is right there. Absolute value of x plus 3, does it give me 6? Okay? So let's try it. I'm going to go in my calculator. Alright, see how x equals 3? So what I'm going to do is go to my original problem. It says absolute value of x, right? Go to math, tab over to number, and hit enter. Okay, so you may see abs with the parentheses, or you may see it like this, math, number, abs. You might see it like that, okay? Same thing. I'm going to go to this other way because I think some calculators, most calculators that we have probably like this. Math, number, abs. And then what did we get for one of the answers for x?
3.
3. Okay, so I'm plugging 3. And then you see how the bars close right there?
Yeah.
So you need to close it with the parentheses. Or if you already have the bars, hit the right arrow to get out of there. Okay? And then what else is there in your original problem? Plus 3. And then when you hit enter, if you get 6, just like your original problem, that means, yeah, that one works. It's a solution, right? Hit enter. Yes, it worked, right? Let's try the other one. Let's try the negative 3. Math, number, abs, negative 3. I'm going to close my parentheses. Plus 3. If this is a solution, when I hit enter, I should get what? 6, just like the original problem. There we go. So this one, they both work. Yeah? All right. So I'm going to say check and check. They both work. Okay? All right. You know what? I know mine it has all this. We're just going to ignore it. All right. Because your worksheet doesn't have this. Okay, let's look at number 1. Remember, first step, you want to get the absolute value all by itself. Is it already all by itself? Yeah. So I'm going to drop the bars and write it twice. First one is x equals 10, which looks exactly like my problem. And the second one is x equals what? Negative 10. Do I need to solve anything? No. So you know what? There we go. And then, guys, we can plug this in and check. Since there is no other calculation that we need to do, let's just do some mental math. If I plug in 10, what's the absolute value of 10? 10. This one works. What's the absolute value of negative 10? 10. So these, they both work. We're good. Okay? Alright? Can we come back to number 2? I want to do number 3 first, and we'll come back to number 2. You would, but you have to split it first. But I want to come back to number 2. Let's look at number 3. So, remember, step 1, get the absolute value bars all by itself. Is it already all by itself? On one side of the equal sign?
Wait, right?
Okay, look at what I'm asking you. Here's the equal sign, right?
Yeah.
Do I have just the absolute value bars all by itself on one side? Yeah, right? Okay, so that means I'm ready to get started. Alright, that means I can drop the bars and write it twice. So the first one looks exactly the same. 2x minus 1 equals what? Huh? 2x minus 1 equals 5. And what is the second one? 2x minus 1 equals negative 5. Okay? You give me the opposite sign for the number that's on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, and then now let's solve. We gotta solve for these two x's. Add the 1. Then I have 2x equals 6. Now what? Tom, you writing this down? Divide by 2. What's 6 divided by 2?
3.
Okay, so we have 3 here. Now let's solve the other one. Should have x equals negative 2, yes? Alright, so let's check. Let's put this in the calculator. So I'm going to say, alright, my original problem. So I'm going to say math number abs 2 times, let's plug in 3. Let's check 3, right? 2 times 3 minus the 1. And then hit equals. Does it equal 5? Right? Because I'm just plugging in the 3.
Yeah,
It works?
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Someone said it works. Anyone else? Did it work? Yeah? Good. Alright, so let's try negative 2. So I'm going to say math number abs 2 times negative 2 minus the 1. Does that equal 5? And I'll put this one in the calculator with you. Math number abs 2 times negative 2 and then minus the 1, close. When I hit enter, does it equal 5? Yes. Okay. So with this one, they both work. Oh, oops. Alright? I want you guys to think of something. Look at this. When you dropped the bars and you wrote it twice, this number on the left is what kind of number? Positive. Okay, go back to number 1. Drop the bars and you wrote it twice. This number was what?
Positive.
Positive. Now, can we go back and look at number 2? Number 2, I want to get the absolute value all by itself on one side. Is it? Yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to drop the bars, write it twice. 3x equals, wait a minute, what number is on the left?
Negative.
-18. Huh. Starting with a negative number? Different. Then the next one, the second one is 3x equals what? What's the opposite of the -18? Positive 18, right? Okay. Interesting. Interesting that it's starting with a negative number. Okay. Now let's solve it. Divide by 3. X equals. What's -18 divided by 3? -6. Okay. And this side, divide. X equals. This one's +6. Alright, this is weird. I mean, you know, it's so weird to me that this left number was a negative. We started with a negative, right? So let's plug this into the calculator. We're going to plug in absolute value 3 times, let's try the first number, -6, and hit enter. Do you get a -18? Absolute value 3 times -6. What did you get? You got a +18. Yes, right? Wait a minute, so then that didn't equal negative, so that's not a solution then. That doesn't work, right? Try the +6. Plug that one in. Math number apps 3 times 6. Does that give me a -18?
No, positive 18.
No, it's a +18 again. So then is this a solution? No. Wait a minute. So when I started with a negative as my first number, how come they both didn't work? Let's think about this. Look at your original problem. Absolute value always gives you what type of number?
Positive.
Positive. So think about what this means. This means, okay, a positive number. Does it ever equal a negative number?
No.
No. So this is saying positive equal negative? No. This is false. So this is no solution. Does that make sense? Kind of weird, right? But that's why we're checking all of our solutions. Because if you miss that, when you go to check it, you go, wait a minute, but that doesn't work. Okay? All right. So let's go to number 4. I know some of you guys are like, oh, I'm already ahead of you. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Okay? I need to make sure we're all on the same page. I'll move a little bit faster if you'd like. Okay. My goal, get the absolute value all by itself. It's not here. What do I need to move? What do I need to do?
Add 9 on both sides.
Add the 9. Thank you.
That's the problem.
So then now we have the absolute value of 4 minus 3x equals 12. Positive number, good, right? Now I have the absolute value all by itself. So then I have to drop the bars, write it twice. 4 minus 3x equals 12. And then the second one is 4 minus 3x equals what?
Negative
-12.
12.
Good. And then let's solve this. Oh. Excuse me. When you go to solve this, we need to subtract that 4, right? Negative 3x equals 8. Oh, starting to look a little ugly. Divide by negative 3. Guys, just leave it as a fraction. Negative 8/3. Okay? Let's look at this one. Minus the 4 here too. Then we have negative 3x equals negative 16. Yeah? Divide by negative 3. So x equals 16/3. I'll leave it as a fraction. Does anyone not know how to turn a decimal into a fraction on the calculator?
Use for math.
Math.
Enter.
Enter. Yup. Okay. All right, so now we're going to check this. We're going to plug it in. So we're going to plug it into this guy right here, our original problem. So my original problem would say then, when I plug it into the calculator, I put as 4 minus 3. What is it again? If I'm going to plug in a fraction, I need parentheses. Parentheses, negative 8 divided by 3. Since you have 2 open, you got to close 2. Close, close. Minus 9. Does that equal 3? Okay, let's try it out. A little bit weird. So we have math, number, abs, right? 4 minus 3x. And instead of the x, I need to plug in negative 8/3. Close, close. Yeah. And then minus the 9. Don't forget about minus 9. Did we get 3? Did you get 3? Get 3? Yeah. Okay. So then let's plug in 16/3. Math, number, abs. 4 minus 3. 3 times 16/3. You know, the fractions, you gotta put fractions in parentheses, so it gets a little weird here, right? And then minus 9. Enter, you also get 3. Okay? So this one also works. And to be honest with you, when they're equals, these should always work if you did your math right. Okay? But we're checking to make sure that we did our math right. Okay? Alright. Let's look at number 5. Alright, number 5, our goal. Get the absolute value bars all by itself. I have a minus 2 there. What do I need to do to move it? Add 2. Thank you. So then now I have the absolute value of x minus 5 equals 12. So now I have the absolute value all by itself, so I need to drop the bars, write it twice. Oh my goodness, I love that. Look how bright that is. Ooh, love this. X minus 5 equals 12. And x minus 5 equals negative 12. Can you guys find both x's for me, please? And then I'll put my answers up as well. So with this one, add the 5, x equals 17. Add 5, and x equals negative 7. Guys, when you go to plug in your x's, you must plug it into your original equation. When I was walking around, I saw that you guys are plugging it in here. No, plug it back into the original, okay? So both of these should work. All right, so let's try number 6. Oh, all right, let me shrink this guy down. What happened? There we go. number 6. I have to get the absolute value all by itself. It's already all by itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I need to drop the bars and write it twice. X minus 3 equals what?
-5.
-5? Huh. Then the second one has to be x minus 3 equals 5. Wait a minute. How many of you guys caught this? Why is it starting with a negative? That's weird, right? It should start with a positive. Let's go back and look. Absolute value of x minus 3. Guys, absolute value always gives us what kind of number?
Positive.
So this is a positive number. Does it ever equal negative number?
No.
No. So this is a no solution. And if you solved it out, when you plugged it in, it should not work for either of them. Okay? Questions about number 6? Ethan, did you get number 6? Good. All right, let's look at number 7. So number 7, still the same thing. I want to get the absolute value, that guy, all by itself. Right now, though, I have this 2 that's multiplying in the front. How do I get rid of that 2? How do I move it? If you distribute, you put it into that other, makes it more complicated. Don't distribute. If it's multiplying, though, good. Opposite would be divide, right? So we want to divide this 2 out of there. And whatever you do on one side, gotta do to the other side. This 2 does nothing to the inside of the absolute value. All it does is cancel the 1 on the outside, or cancel the 2 on the outside, okay? And then you have the absolute value of 3x minus 2 equals, what's 14 divided by 2? 7. All right, so here, now that we have absolute value all by itself, drop the bars and write it twice. 3x minus 2 equals 7, or equals a positive number. But still good, right? Then the next one, the second one is 3x minus 2 equals negative 7. All right, so let's solve this. You should have what I have, okay? Unless, of course, if I mess up, and then you guys should tell me. All right, so these guys, did you check them? Yeah, did they work? Good. Remember, you got to check them into the original. And you know what? Since we had a 2 in front right here, when you put in the calculator, I want you to do this. Put in just the 2 first, and then do the absolute value. So you would say 2, and then absolute value, 3 times whatever your x is. If I plugged in 3. And then minus the 2, close, and does that equal 14? All right? Everyone's saying yes, that one worked.
Yeah.
3 does work. Did you have trouble putting in the fraction? No? Okay, well, you know, I'm gonna tell you how to put that one in too, though, and I'll do that one with you, just in case. 2, absolute value, 3, negative 5 over 3, minus 2, close, equals 14. You know, I saw that actually a lot of you guys have the bars, right? So I'll switch my calculator for this one to math print. Do this one them together. It's actually a lot easier if you have the bars. And then it doesn't look as confusing with all the parentheses. 2 math number abs. And then I have 3 times negative 5/3. And then get out of there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We don't get out of there yet. Minus the 2, sorry. Right? Yeah? Okay, and then, is that it? 14! Good, right? Oh my goodness, that's huge. There. Shrink it down. Alright. Yes? Okay. Let's look at the next one. Guys, you're doing a really great job. Hang in there. Hang in there. Okay, so the next one, same thing. I need to get the absolute value all by itself. What do I need to do first? Huh? Add what? Add the 1. And then that still gives me, well, that still leaves me with 3 times the absolute value of x plus 2. And that equals 9. What should I do now? Thank you, Abner. So good. Divide by what? 3 on both sides. Crosses those out. Right? Tom, are you writing this down? Absolute value of x plus 2 equals, what's 9 divided by 3? Huh? 3. So now we have the absolute value all by itself, so you're going to drop the bars, write it twice. The first one is x plus 2 equals 3. The second one is x plus 2 equals?
-3.
Thank you. Great job. If we solve this, what do we get for our 2 x's? Yeah? And then I want to make sure we can plug this in. We should have x equals 1 and x equals -5. Remember, we're going to plug in to the original. Move this guy over a little bit. Okay, let's see. Huh? Did it work?
Yeah. I got 14.
You got 15? Well, let's see. 3. You got 18?
14.
14. So 3 times the absolute value of, okay, for x, I'm going to plug in 1 first. 1 plus the 2. Get out of there.
Plug in 1.
Minus the 1. You didn't do the minus the 1?
No, I didn't plug in 1. I plugged in 3.
Oh, you plugged in 3? Okay, well, we'll plug in 3. I got 8. So 1 works. Yeah? Okay, let's plug in 3. So we have 3 math number abs. So that's 3 plus, wait, was it 3 or was it -3?
3.
Wait, no, I got -5. That's why it didn't work. Perfect. I love that you checked it. And if it didn't work, you gotta be like, wait a minute. Here's the thing, guys. These absolute values, if one of them works, the other one has to work. So if the other one doesn't work, you gotta go back and look at your math. What is it? Plus a -5. You could even do that. You can just say -5 and then minus the 1. Oh no, my God, did I do it wrong? Did I put in? No, it was -5. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. Sorry. 3 -5 plus 2. Oh, I didn't delete the 3 from before. Excuse me. There we go. 8. Yeah? So, perfect. Both of these should work. Right? try number 9, please? And then when you were done, so for number 9, you should have divided by 3 first, right? Because you want to get the absolute value all by itself. And then you're going to drop the bars and write it twice. So x plus 4 equals 6, and x plus 4 equals negative 6. Now, when I solve this for x, I get x equals 2. And then I also get x equals, thank you, x equals negative 10. Now, I need to go check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in. Right? So I'm going to plug in, go to my original problem, 3 math number abs x. I'm going to plug in 2 first, because 2 is one of the x's that I found, right? 2 plus 4, get out of there, and does it equal 18? Let me hit enter. Yes, it equals 18, so that one is a solution. Oh, okay. Oh, how pretty is that? Oh, wow. Never knew you. Okay, so anyway, so the next one was negative 10, so I'm going to do the same thing. 3 math number abs, negative 10 plus 4, get out of there. Does it equal 18? Yes. Okay, good. So I'm going to put this over here, just so we remember. Okay? Questions? You guys all get it? We feel good? Good. Well, last problem. Guys, whenever you see a multiple choice, and by the way, I love multiple choice, because the answer is there for you, right?
In theory, you could just test them all.
Huh?
In theory, you could just go through and test them all immediately.
You could. There you go. Did you guys hear what Ethan said? You could plug in all of your answer choices and see which one works. You could do that. But you know what? There's got to be another way to at least eliminate some of the problems. All right? Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. This is absolute value. All these absolute value problems that you've been doing, how many answers have you been getting? 2. So which answers can you eliminate right off the bat? A and C, because you only have 2 there. So I'm going to get rid of those 2. Right? So now you have just B and D. Really, you could plug in, but you know what? I'm going to do it up here because I found a cool calligraphy pen and I want to try this out. Absolute value equal to 7. I have the absolute value bars all by itself, so I'm going to drop the bars, write it twice. So I have 1/2 x plus 3 equals 7, and the other one is 1/2 x plus 3 equals negative 7. Do you agree? Okay. So then now what? Subtract the 3. So you have 1/2 x equals 4. Yeah? Subtract the 3. So you have 1/2 x equals negative 10. It's really weird. How do you get rid of this 1/2 that's in front of the x? Well, to get rid of the fraction, okay, you could turn it into a decimal. How about multiply by the reciprocal, right? Take this 1/2 and flip it.
2/1.
2/1, which is the same as 2. Whatever you do on one side, you do to the other side. So then that basically gets rid of that. And then you have x equals 8. Oh, just by that alone, I know it's D because D is the only one that has x equals 8. But just for fun, I'm going to solve the other one as well. Multiply it by 2. X equals negative 20.